Pleasant morning to everyone and also to our panelists. I am John Owen G. Marqueses, and today we will discuss our research entitled Effectiveness of E-Learning Platform to the Academic Performance of Third-Year HRDM Students in Rizal Technological University, Pasig Campus. And here are my group mates.
Good day. I am Aldrin Lauren Habok.
Good day, everyone. My name is Jessica B. Zamora.
Good day, everyone. I am Maurice Itindogan.
I am John Owen G. Marqueses, and today I'm going to discuss our introduction and the background of our study. E-learning refers to the use of electronic technologies to access educational content outside of a traditional classroom setting. It's designed to be more accessible, easy, and nearly free to use, and to provide the same opportunities as the face-to-face learning. It can be accessed at all levels, from nursery to college, with the purpose of improving schooling and learning. E-learning has become the most widely utilized online medium, providing the wealth of knowledge and opportunity for interaction between professors and students. It is widely utilized around the world because of how well organized and convenient it is for continuing education in the face of the pandemic. An alternative way to deliver education to students is through online learning. This is a type of remote education that is non-formal type education that employs various media to transit lectures, notes, and debates to the students and the teachers. The Moodle app is an online system that may accommodate and aid both professors and students in the continuation of their education as part of the online learning preparations. Moodle, often known as a course management system, CMS, or a virtual learning environment, is a widely used open source learning management system, LMS and VLE. Also, Moodle stands out for its ease to set up and maintenance, as well as the ability to create content courses. The ease of creating content such as forums, quizzes, tasks, wikis, and chats is a significant benefit of utilizing Moodle. Several studies stated that it can obviously assist universities in making the education system operate today, despite the fact that the global pandemic has changed the way education takes place. The background of our study. The goal of an e-learning strategy is to have a transformative rather than a sustaining influence on the traditional university teaching functions. In the Philippines, there are universities or colleges that still prefer traditional face-to-face practice despite the fact that e-learning has been introduced. Despite the various advantages of e-learning, several studies have shown numerous downsides in the Filipino students. Students have suffered a significant disadvantage as a result of the abrupt shift in education from traditional on-campus study to online learning. While universities have had a lot of success with online learning, it has been noted that most universities shift to a new educational paradigm has not been appropriately organized for their students' learning systems. The Moodle platform, which caters to numerous functions that university staff and students can experience and use, is one of the primary choices to focus on in online learning technology employed by local universities. This platform aided in making online classes more accessible and convenient in order to alleviate the strain, but not all of this is true. Many universities share the same burden of having to spend multiple hours waiting for it to load or to process. And as a consequence, activities and tasks cannot be completed nor submitted at the due time required. Lastly, the objectives of our study include the following. Number one, it aims to understand the potential factors influencing students' academic achievements and satisfaction using online traditional learning practice. Two, it aims to determine whether using an online class practice has an impact on the performance of the students during a widespread global pandemic. And lastly, number three, it aims to understand the various advantages and disadvantages of online learning in the performance of undergrad students.
Good day. My topic is all about statement of the problem. Number 1. What are the demographic profiles of the respondents in terms of age, gender, and time spent per day using e-learning platform? Number 2. How is the level of e-learning satisfaction of the students we describe? Number 3. How is the level of academic performance of the students we describe? And number 4, is there a significant relationship between the effect of e-learning satisfaction and academic performance of third-year HRDF students?
Today, I am going to discuss the hypothesis of our research proposal. Hypothesis number 1. There is significant difference relationship between the e-learning satisfaction to the academic performance of the respondents. Hypothesis number 2. There is no significant different relationship between the e-learning satisfaction to the academic performance of the respondents.
I'm going to discuss the conceptual framework and theoretical framework of our thesis proposal. So first is conceptual framework. Figure 1 represents the conceptual framework of the study. It utilizes the IPO, or the input, process, and outputs of the study. It outlines how the basic elements are connected and describes the intervening process. At the same time, it may be read as a guide to the rest of the study. So the input box include first the student respondents' demographic profiles such as age, gender, and time spent per day using e-learning platform. Second, the level of academic performance or the respondent for the school year 2021 to 2022. So the process box contains the data gathering such as survey questionnaire, analysis, and the interpretation of data and conclusion. So the output box contains the data gathered on such as effectiveness of e-learning satisfaction to the academic performance of third-year HRDM students and recommendation about the effectiveness of e-learning and conclusions. Next is theoretical framework. The focus of this study was based on the theory of Sweller's cognitive load theory. In the online learning taxonomy, this is the most commonly used theory. The student's prior knowledge is the sole individual aspect of the task that is expressly included in this theoretical framework. According to David, cognitive load theory is the amount of mental effort engaged in working memory during a task and can be divided into germane, intrinsic, and extraneous effort since students' working memory is only limited. Their brain will suffer from the overloaded information acquired, causing ineffective learning progress. So, Sweller implies that human working memory can only contain a certain amount of knowledge at a time, and that in order to maximize learning, instructional methods should avoid overloading it. So next, I will going to discuss the e-learning. So e-learning, the presentation modality and format are constantly altered when technology is used to convey knowledge to pupils. So the student perspective is extremely important when new teaching methods and technology are introduced. So the student not only understands but also retains the knowledge for future use is one of the most important features of any e-learning course design. So next, Moodle as an e-learning platform. So this is significant because student satisfaction in online classes is typically lower than in face-to-face classes because teachers give one-way instructional demonstrations or references materials in class. Students are deprived of direct operation opportunities. Interactive learning control may be more effective than one-way assisted learning. So related studies found that learning via the internet followed by a classroom setting can lead to interactivity and rapid knowledge diffusion resulting in effective learning instruction. So next is learning motivation. So having different personality types prefer different learning style. Extroverts enjoy interacting with others, thus they value social interaction in the classroom. Collaborative projects and active learning strategies create opportunities for interaction. So introverts on the other hand are more introspective and prefer internal processing chances. So human is interaction is more effective than non-interactive distance learning in prompting learning because teachers and fellow students ask questions that require high-level thinking skills. Collaboration and communication. In the literature, engagement along with motivation is recognized as crucial for enhanced learning outcomes for all students. The students can tackle more complicated problems, learn from one another, and acquire critical cooperation skills through project-based learning, collaborating on real-world class projects, and other cooperative learning activities than they could on their own. So students are engaged when they are actively engrossed in their work, preserve in the face of obstacles, and take risks as well as when they feel a distinct sense of accomplishment in the finishing their duties. And lastly, learning achievements. E-learning platforms have a significant advantage over students in a few selected areas. It can store a huge amount of information that they will need for future references. They can organize and retrieve specific information and can do very complex calculations very quickly. Some studies discuss how time management, online examination, and flexibility might help students succeed when learning online. So, despite numerous benefits of e-learning, students may face issues that eventually result in limited or unfavorable outcomes.
Description of the respondents. The survey included 181 incoming fourth-year students from the four blocks. PCBET 17602A and PCBET 17601P are both had 45 respondents. There are also 46 respondents from PCBET 17601A and 44 respondents from PCBET 17602P. The sample size is 125. According to the RACEOP calculator, a software that primarily calculates or creates the sample size of a research or survey, and Slavin formula, all of the respondents are studying a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with major in Human Resource Development Management at the Pasig campus.
Statistical treatment of data. Number one, percentage. The researchers will use this to determine the frequency counts and the percentage distribution of the personal-related variables of the respondents. The researchers will use this statistical measure in terms of their demographic profile. The formula is percentage is equal to product of frequency divided by number of samples and multiplied by 100. Number two, weighted mean. The weighted mean used to compute the sample size of the respondents. The formula is the computed weighted mean is equal to the product of frequency and weight divided by the total number of samples. Number three, person-product moment correlational coefficient. This was used to measure the relationship of the respondents' effect of using e-learning platform to the academic performance. The formula is presented where R means the linear correlation coefficient, N means the number of pairs of data present, summation of X means the sum of all x scores. Summation of y means the sum of all y scores, and summation of x and y means the sum of the products of corresponding x and y scores. The values of Pearson R were interpreted as shown below. The R value from 0.00 to positive negative 0.20 interpreted as slight correlation. From positive negative 0.21 to positive negative 0.40 interpret as low correlation. From positive negative 0.41 to positive negative 0.60 interpret as moderate correlation. The positive negative 0.61 to positive negative 0.80 interpret as high correlation, and from positive negative 0.81 to positive negative 1 is interpreted as very high correlation. The significance of the correlation was obtained using p-value with the following interpretation. If p-value is greater than the level of significance, the correlation is not significant. And if the p-value is less than the level of significance, the correlation is significant.